What's up, y'all? This Rom coming back at you with yet another smartphone couch video. Usually doing a car video and something, but my son's out of on Easter break and stuff from school, so it's like they got a bunch of stuff they want me to do with them and everything. And anybody who know me, I spend a lot of time around my sons, out and about with my sons and everything. That's why I call them my pimps. That's why I work hard. If I piss y'all off, it's for my pimps. But anyway, right? Anyway, many men need to really understand the role social class plays in relationships, right? Because I was thinking about what I was talking about, that whole, I was talking about Russell Wilson types yesterday, not Russell Wilson himself. Not Russell Wilson himself. I said types. It's particularly in the black community, but I see the same thing in the white community as well. It is a big difference how a woman is treating a man, or rather, well, that's a whole other thing, but how men see women, because men see women according to their social class and everything. Many men don't get that though, because the real issue is a lot of men haven't had been in that unique position of really navigating the different social classes, really navigating it. And it ain't a bad thing or anything, but and when I say navigating, I don't mean like you got a manager or something who's bougie, or you got, you know, well, like, I don't know, you dating usually outside of your class. Most people date inside of their social class. And, what I was thinking about that with the whole thing with, I was talking about Russell Wilson types yesterday. A lot of guys don't understand when you're talking about a man of that, from his background, and men from that background, because that's what the focus was. You know what? They don't have in any community. This ain't just the black community, but any community. They not gonna move through the world like a working class guy, or even a like low level professional. You know, they ain't gonna move through the world the same way. They're gonna see stuff differently. And see, just the reality of it, when you talk about social classes, regardless of the race, any sociologist will say, hey, you know what? They like cultures, subcultures within themselves. But see, a lot of times, and this is especially when we're talking about black relationships, people will say, well, it's all just one class. They all the same. All these women want Pookie and Ray Ray and stuff. Oh, that other guy is corny or something like that. Yeah, he don't got that street swag. He corny and all of that. Corny to who? Corny to who? Maybe to, okay, like that guy, he clean cut or something. He might not have like that rough background or anything. That street swag, and that's really going across all races and everything. All right, he might not have it. He don't need it. He don't need it, because the women he's dealing with, they on pretty much the same level. So if that man say that man, okay, he got two professionals as parents, Cosby, you got one who's a doctor, one who's an attorney. First of all, it's going to be a different vibe with it. All right, let's use that example. Two different families. Okay, one kid, one dude, he's out of a family, the parents were both professionals and everything. Wait, hold on a second. All right, yeah, I'm editing videos and stuff. I do stuff like on, I got to multitask. Anyway, so, okay, you got two different dudes, right? Okay, well, I was saying one is his parents were professional and everything. His parents were professionals, like degree professionals and everything. You got another dude, well, he might be out of a single mother home or something. He barely sees his father. He's in a poor neighborhood. They're going to have different perspectives based on the women they deal with. The professional, shoot, his parents had him in private school, which means you got to have money. You got to have some money from the time he was in preschool. In fact, he went to a preschool where he had to fill out, they had to fill out an application just to get him in. Oh, that's how people with money roll. And they got high privileged preschools and everything. He's been in preschool since he was young. He played sports. One thing about more upper class people, they emphasize sports. In fact, if you talk about boarding schools, private schools, it's pretty much you got some you required to play a sport, some most of the people playing a sport. That's how deep it is. All right. So he athletic and stuff. He go to a top level school. You know, it could be Ivy League or near Ivy League, top level and everything. He becomes a professional too. He's dealing with a different class of women and stuff. Now, but he might be called corny or something to some street level women or something like that. But he ain't gonna try to relate to them anyway. He might just meet them here and there or something. Maybe if they're like an administrative assistant at the law firm he's working at and everything. He got a different perspective. He will get with a different type of woman. But then, that guy, from single parent household, rough area, he was going to public schools in a rough area. He's used to dealing with certain type of women. But if he was around some more professional types, more that, more upper middle class types, he probably couldn't really relate to them and everything. And see, that's the thing. But see, some guys don't understand that. They think, one of the things is some guys think their world is the world. And that's one thing I realized because I told y'all my background. I told you I've been through all the classes really, except like the ultra rich. I'm working on that one. Been through all of them except the ultra rich. Yeah, but I've encountered people from it, and their mindset, you talk to them about relationships, their mindsets are totally different. In fact, even how they look, it's like they're going to have a cleaner look to them. Like you get some women, like here's another example of some basic differences. And I've seen this. And this goes across races, let me be clear. Because I've personally known, like, I would say white women from definitely upper middle class backgrounds and some black women from upper middle class backgrounds. How they speak, their speech intonation, how they move, even how they adorn themselves is different from their lower class cousins. Whether their cousins are out of the housing project or the trailer park. But see, one of the things is a lot of men don't really get that. And that's a major issue because they're looking for different things in women. In fact, one of the videos that I'll be editing today, and that's going to come out May 2nd, I'm talking about different value systems. And this is very important to understand. See, one of the things people got to understand, because I was talking with my co-parent yesterday, because I mentioned the video yesterday, and she was like, oh, it should be obvious there are differences. And women ain't going to all go for the same type of guy. I'll see the same type of swag. Now, understand something with my co-parent. Her background, I put it in more natural 92. More natural 92. Shout out BGS Itmore. So, her background, she had a little bit of money. So she's an Alpha Kappa Alpha, aka one of those types and stuff. Got a different outlook on just relationships and dealing with the types of men that she would deal with. I had to have my degrees for her to have any real interest in everything. And I lost track of how many degrees she got. So, but that was even to come together. And, and I was thinking about that even with the women I deal with and stuff, because of my background, I can go up and down, but I prefer to stay. I deal primarily with women who have 2 degrees and, they might be called corny, or if they black women, corny or Oreos by like some of the streeter type of women. Well, that's just me. But see, a lot of guys don't have that background. They don't have that experience. And they'll think, oh, all these women want Pookie and Ray Ray. That's why when there was argument about that, I was like, who y'all messing with? Me and Pookie ain't messing with the same woman. He was like, so I ain't concerned. I have zero concern about them. and stuff. Zero concern. We not going for the same one. The women I want, Pookie will probably be like, oh nah, she fine, but she don't got those eyelashes, and she ain't have her hair a certain way or something. They be calling, like Pookie will call the women I click with best goody girls. They ain't goody in the bedroom, but I'm just saying. And that's always been his thing. That's always been the thing. And that's one of the things. That's why social class is very important. They're their own worlds. You're going to do different things, as opposed to, you're going to get some women, shoot, a hot date for them is going to the art museum, the art expo or something. And I remember a date I had with this one woman. She was a more upper class. Shoot, we were at a function. She had to dress up a little bit. It was a piano recital. This dude, he had the piano. We walking around with our wine glasses and everything. Everybody dressed up, And I told this situation before. One of my favorite occasions when you talk about stuff like that was when I was, it was like a few decades ago. It's like I went to a pool party. I told it. Some of y'all remember because y'all commented when I said. I remember I went to a pool party. This was more lower class folks. The women even looked different. Like even the slim ones looked like they had a belly, looked like they had popped out a child or something. There was like only one young lady there with a flat stomach, and you had a rougher, more boisterous crowd. This was more working class. These are working class to poor at this pool party. And I mean, it was major. It was major. You had to have a certain speech intonation. You couldn't just walk in there just happy-go-lucky. Shoot, you had to pretty much have a murder walking through there and stuff. Because you were being tested no matter what. All right. So you went there. But then the next night, I was at a more bourgeois party. It was a hotel party where you had to know somebody to even get there. Nothing but black Barbie dolls in there. Seriously. You had to look. You didn't see not a single woman I saw had looked like she, even really, quite frankly, looked like she might have had a baby or something. Like all the stomachs were flat. They were all pretty fixed up, intelligent conversations, everything. So it was just two different worlds. So the men, the men would have been called corny. That's the thing. The men would have been called corny. And that's the same thing up to this day. I told you I hadn't stopped. Anybody follow me on IG, I should have got the pictures of me and a silver fox. Attorney, high level attorney at this function. These dudes, they would have been called corny. They all had conservative haircuts. They had the suits on and everything. And they would have been called corny. Oh, they corny, they lame, they square. But I'm looking at their wives and their girlfriends, and I'm like, yeah. But anybody to understand that would need to be able to travel between those classes and everything, And that's the biggest issue. A lot of men, they haven't seen outside of their class, but it still exists. So when, you talk about somebody, you can't just look at them. It's like, well, what women are getting with that guy? What women are getting with that guy? Who's feeling them? In fact, it was funny on, there's a young lady I follow. She actually got some promise. I ain't going to call her name, but Rom, because me and Cousin T-Talk, we'll go back and forth in the DMs, and I'll be like, because it's a young lady, y'all might or might not know her. I could drop her name. She's easily Google. And I said, man, because she's totally my type, right? And she got a new guy and everything, and I was joking with her, saying, man, he touching my woman and everything. But if you look at the guy, he don't look like no street dude or something. He's kind of in the same class as she. You could just look at him and tell he would be called corny, but he with this fine motherfucker. So I'm like, shit. But a lot of guys just got to understand, get a better understanding of social class, all right? So anyway, that's it for now, y'all. Yeah, it's a good thing I'm making money off of this stuff. My son's about to pimp me, man. Shoot. It'd be scary if they start dressing fly. They get me on all this other stuff. Like my youngest son, My youngest son, shoot, this gonna be a point y'all gonna be watching his videos. I just don't know when, cause well, I ain't gonna tell you his screen name, cause I know some of y'all Bammers be trying to mess with him, and then y'all mess with me, I might see another side of Rom. Y'all might say, "Oh wait, I didn't know you could track me down in the outside world." I got friends, y'all. Anyway, yeah, yeah. My youngest son is funny. If he got to film some or something, he be like, "Y'all be quiet." Nah, they my seeds though, man. Any father know, man. You know your sons, as long as they acting right, you raising them up, man. And let me just say something real quick on a serious note. That's the main thing I'm about, man. That's the main thing I'm about. You know, main thing I'm about. That's my pride right there, sons. So anyway, y'all, that's all I got for today. Get back with y'all later. Peace and blessings.